Hi everybody, I just wanted to take a minute since I have that Flora and Fauna paper bag album class coming up this weekend on my Ustream to talk a little bit about how I prepare for a mini album like that. And so I just want to kind of go through my process, but essentially what I do is I just sort of take everything that I think I might want to use on the album and I put it all together in a big pile. And right now I have it all in this box. So I'm going to go through what's in the box and kind of tell you like why I chose some of these things, you know, and how I go through and pick stuff for my mini albums. So let's go ahead and get started with that. So I'm just going to start with the paper, and how I kind of picked the paper was I was in a kid swap with someone on my site, and she asked me what kind of paper I had my eye on, and I said the K&Company Flora and Fauna paper. So she got me the designer paper pad of that, so thank you so much, Sonia. And I also bought for myself the specialty paper pad. And so that kind of gave me a jumping off point, because as I was looking through these papers, I remembered I had all these photos from a trip I had taken to a butterfly sanctuary. And so I liked all the natural elements on this. I liked that they had a lot of drawings that looked like artist renderings or botanist renderings, and the soft colors. And they also had birds at the sanctuary, so I liked that there was a lot of butterflies and birds, and it just looked pretty natural. But that it also still had pretty bright colors, because, you know, a lot of the butterflies are extremely bright colored, and there's a lot of green in the photos from that. I picked that paper, and then I have this paper pad as well, and there's more of those kind of images in here. Lots of pretty things to choose from. I'm just going really fast. I don't want to take forever on this, but so these are the papers that I picked to have with me as scrapbook. And then I remembered that I have some of the Seven Gypsies Conservatory collection, which blends in very well with that whole look as well. And it has some of my favorite kind of elements. They have a lot of text paper, vintage ads, vintage newsprint, more botanical drawings, and also there's ledger paper, and all kinds of pretty things like that. So with the Butterfly Conservatory in mind and these two paper collections in mind, I went through all my stash and also through the kit I had been sent and started pulling elements that I thought would kind of go with that. So I have these chipboard butterflies from Maya Road that layer on top of each other. You see some of them are sort of laser cut and some of them are solid. Well, each laser cut piece has a corresponding solid sheet, so you can layer them on top of each other. And because it will have sort of a bright vintage, but vintage nonetheless, I pulled my Ring of Keys, and I have some of the Tim Holtz ideology tags, and I have vellum border stickers that go with the collection I chose, and I pulled some clocks because I just felt like time stopped while I was there. And then I have some Maya Road resin flowers. That would look good in flower centers, as flower centers. And also some stick pins. And I am putting in some of my own steel pins, and I might make some of my own vintage stick pins. And then, of course, cardstock that coordinates with the collection. This cardstock stack, the neutrals from Die Cuts with a View, goes very nicely with the Flora and Fauna. And a lot of this is things I got in my kit swap as well, and a lot of it's stuff from my stash. If it's kind of half used, it probably came from my stash. Sort of metal look letters, stickers, bling swirls and solid bling, and of course some beautiful layered stickers. And anything in my scrap room already on my pegboard I'll pull from. Paper clips. I got these paper clips because I have some die cuts from the collection that I thought it would be fun to add with paper clips. And now I can't find them because my box is a mess. So, Tim Holtz buttons. And I also have hanging on my pegboard some vintage inspired buttons. And have some bottle caps that I want to put small images in and fill with UT. I think that'll look cool. And some flowers and stamens that match the collection. And then got these metal flower centers. I guess they're brads. They're filigree brads from Close to My Heart. And more bling and pearls. Some rub-ons. Some butterflies. Okay, here's the die cuts. There's a sheet in the Flora and Fauna collection pad. And it's in the designer collection pad. And it looks like this. And one day I just went through and I cut out every single thing on this sheet to make my own die cuts that would coordinate with the collection. So you can see how I just sort of cut them all out. And these are what I plan to use the paper clips to attach. And I love this one, this quote from Thoreau: "The world is but a canvas to the imagination." But they match the collection perfectly, and they'll be super fun die cuts to cover the back with ledger paper, journal on them. And then I'll be able to pull them out from the paper clips, and that'll make the book even more fun and interactive. So that's why I pulled the Tim Holtz paper clips. And then, of course, I have the ledger pad here that goes with the collection. I love anything ledger I have to have because I love to handwrite my journaling. And then I also have the designer mat stack that goes with the collection to use on my larger tags that go inside the bags. I pulled glitter letters, iridescent stickers. I don't know if you can see, they kind of have a finish like perfect pearls. And ribbon flowers, just more die cuts, some butterfly jellies, Prima studs, copper butterflies, dragonflies, flowers, dimensional stickers, acetate stickers. These are layered acetate stickers, beautiful. More vellum quotes. There's things like "Waiting on the wind to change," "Enjoy your journey." I liked a lot of these. "Let's explore," "Where are we going?" It just felt like they kind of had the feel of discovery from being in the butterfly sanctuary. Some of the Kaisercraft wood laser cuts, and some vintage frames from Melissa Francis. And obviously I won't use everything here in the kit, but I like to go through my stash and pull anything I think might look good in the kit and put it all together in one pile that I can sort through when I'm embellishing. And that way I don't forget about something that's in my stash and not include it. They would work well. It kind of boils my stash down to a smaller, more manageable pile that I can choose from for the kit, or for the album. So Karen Foster stick pins, have cork buttons from Pink Paisley, and more die cuts, already distressed and tea-dyed tags from Jewels, beautiful butterfly pebbles from the collection, More keys. Love keys. If I'm doing anything that has a hint of being vintage, I want keys. Envelopes from Graphic 45 Staples. Some of the Tim Holtz bird cage die cuts. Just these are K&Company. Just some die cuts I had kicking around. Transparency journaling spots. Charms. Butterfly charms. I have a couple of those. Beautiful Prima flowers. One of these will definitely go on the cover. Die cuts from the collection. They have lovely layered die cuts. I have some apothecary bottles that I think could look fun, filled with different colored powders. I pulled some trim, not this lime, but I love this gray here. Some pleated trim from Pink Paisley. More charms, more tags. Some feathers. So I have a little bag of feathers here. More flower centers, beautiful flower centers. I have, these look kind of like pressed petals and bling. And a bunch of my Seven Gypsies tags will work with the collection. I just went through and pulled all of them, you know, and I can pick and choose from them when we get to it. Like this one has a bird on it down here in the corner. Jenny Bolin small 4x4 little die cuts, perfect for journaling. Frames from Tattered Angels where I've used the letter out of the center and still have the butterflies left. I saved those in a baggie. Have those. Tim Holtz memo pins will also be great for holding those die cuts I pulled. Some pretty pearl buttons. And I also have vintage buttons hanging on my pegboard that I can pull from. Flowers. And then, of course, I have my basket of Wild Orchid Crafts flowers. Metal foliage. This will be fun to layer in the book. More ribbon flowers and some laser cut tags. My Mind's Eye journaling spots. I keep them all in a bag together. Just like the Seven Gypsies. They'll be great. There's some great vintage looking ones in there that coordinate perfectly with the collection. These are the actual die cuts from the collection. They'll be perfect with the paper clips as well. Adage tickets and journaling tickets, love those as well. Then I made some postcards for a project, and when I was working on the project I made some extras, so I'd always have postcards ready. So I pulled those as well. And again, I don't plan on using even like most of this stuff. In fact, most of it will go back into my scrap room, but I need it around me or else I'll forget that I have it. Another butterfly charm. Fun vintage frame. Some vintage stickers from Crafty Secrets. Press-ons from Pink Paisley. Be fun to cover the back of a tag with this. Some of these rub-ons are too bright, but like this one here with the circle or this one here, these are perfect for the papers. Some stickers. Some of these stickers will work beautifully. These are die cuts, I think, or maybe they're stickers. These are punch-outs. So punch-outs, a lot of these will look really beautiful in the collection. I have Graphic 45 Staples stickers, and the ones with the butterflies, these eyeglasses, anything that has kind of a vintage feel to it. It'll look really pretty with the clocks and the keys. More of those press-ons. You can see where I had another rub-on got stuck to it when it was in my stash. But there's a lot that say things like spring or renew. Those are perfect for butterflies. Perfect sentiments for butterflies. I have my Making Memories garment pins, so I can hang charms and whatnot throughout the book. Set of vintage die cuts from Melissa Francis. And some paper tape, some artisan tape from Pink Paisley. And then that's everything I pulled from my stash. So this kind of stuff comes from the drawers, if you've seen the tour of my scrap room, you see I have those drawers in my closet, that closet organizer, and that's where all of these sort of things came from. And then most of the stuff on my pegboard, I leave on my pegboard because I'm very familiar with what's up there. But I also went through and pulled my stamps. So I have some journaling stamps and some butterfly stamps. And I pulled a grid stamp from Hero Arts. This is perfect for journaling. I love to journal on a grid. And I have a partridge stamp. It's a Christmas stamp, but it'll look great in this kind of an album as well. I have a butterfly with a clock here. They'll be beautiful. And then this is kind of a postage one, but it has those ferns, looks like fern fossils almost. And then I pulled a handwriting stamp and another butterfly stamp, and then some more butterfly and floral stamps as well. And then I have my usual ledger stamps and whatnot that I use all the time that you guys have seen before. So I take all of this stuff and I pull it all together into a box, and I have it in a 12 by 12 box, and this enables me to scrap out of that box, and that way I can incorporate all of this cool stuff that I might not have remembered if I was just trying to think of my entire stash and what might be in there. And so that really helps me to make a beautiful layered mini album with all kinds of fun embellishments, and not miss anything from my stash and go, oh gosh, if only I had seen that last week when I was working on that butterfly album. So I hope you can join us on Saturday, April 2nd at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for the first part of the crop where I'm going to be working on the Flora and Fauna paper bag album inspired by Kathy Orta. Hope to see you then. Bye.